Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, July 23rd. Hint that Gabby Hernandez will strike a double seduction deal, while Doug Williams III vows to leave Ariana, Ari Horton, and Holly Jonas alone forever. Things got pretty scary toward the end of Ari and Holly's kidnapping ordeal, but they thankfully both made it out alive. Now Holly and Ari deserve a chance to rip into Doug for dragging them into his loan shark drama. Days spoilers say Ari and Holly will indeed lash out at Doug on Wednesday's Duel episode, so he'll accept their anger and apologize for what he put them through. Doug never meant for any of this to happen and will be truly sorry for the nightmare he unleashed. Since Doug promised Tate Black that he'd leave town once the abduction chaos was over, he may give Holly and Ari updates on that decision. Doug should say goodbye and promise to leave them alone forever, so Ari and Holly will have a chance to react. Meanwhile, Tate will be busy trying to make sense of Sophia Choi's confession. Sophia just insisted that their baby was gone, so Tate's wondering what she means by that news. On Wednesday's episode, Sophia will lie about finding the perfect adoptive couple and having them there for the birth in Chicago. After Sophia claims they wanted to take their new daughter home, she'll insist that she let them. Tate will get emotional over not having the opportunity to meet his baby girl, but Sophia may argue that it's better this way. Sophia will do her best to offer phony explanations as Tate and Brady Black throw tons of questions at her. Melinda Trask has all the fake paperwork ready to go, so Sophia will just hope no one ever finds out she actually gave birth to a little boy in Salem. Other Days spoilers say Xander Kyriakis will finally cave in and allow Sarah Horton Kyriakis to see Victoria Kyriakis. Sarah will appreciate that and take advantage of whatever mother-daughter bonding time she can get. At some point, Sarah might bring up Kayla Johnson's suggestion of Xander seeing Marlena Evans for some anger management therapy. Xander may balk at first, but we know he'll indeed give it a try eventually. In the meantime, Days spoilers say Tony DiMera will make a pitch to Gabby. It turns out Tony will think Gabby's in the prime position to dupe Xander and Philip Kyriakis. Gabby will become part of a double seduction plot sooner or later, so she'll pull both Xander and Philip closer with a manipulative goal in mind. Tony will rely on Gabby to help regain control of DiMera Enterprises, which could work out well for them both. Alex greets Stephanie with a kiss as she works, but she's still distracted working on her hospital pitch to EJ. Alex promises he always has her back, and Steph's grateful. Now, time to focus on their book launch. He's got blog interviews and podcasts lined up, which worries Stephanie, but he assures her they will all be over the phone. No one will figure out who she is. They go over some of the blurbs from authors who read advanced copies. Steph's again unsettled by how fast this is moving. He wants to use a passage from the book for press, and Stephanie freaks out and tells him he can't use it. She wants Kate to take it out completely. Alex assures her nothing will be used without her approval, but she won't admit why she got so upset. Instead, she just says it's happening so quickly. Stephanie leaves and Alex calls Kate to tell her he doesn't know why, but the excerpt is out. Someone knocks on the door and leaves a package for Stephanie, but Alex doesn't see anyone. Out in the hospital reception area, Sarah brings Javi some coffee, and they talk a bit about Holly and Ari. He's worried about PTSD, but Sarah says they've got amazing support systems. They confer a bit about all the threats to kids these days, and Javi waxes a bit about how happy he is with Tesoro. He's not looking forward to giving him up, though. And Sarah says she knows the feeling, after Rachel and now Victoria's with Xander, and she's missing her. Kayla's talking to Bo on the phone when EJ comes in, and she has to hang up. "That didn't sound like a work-related call," he quips. "The drug they used to save his life was developed there," she fires back. She'd think he'd like to know how it's working. After some more back and forth, EJ says he needs an office, and hers will do nicely. Instead, she offers him a utility closet by the morgue. EJ mock laughs at her wit, then makes it clear Kayla no longer runs the hospital. He does, and he's going to keep it from going bankrupt. Kayla yells at him about the budget cuts and how it's lowering morale and patient care, and EJ tells her she has to make it work, one way or another. That's when Kayla tells him she either gets autonomy to run the hospital or she's resigning. She can retire early and enjoy life just fine, but she's held off because she cares about the hospital and patients. Either accept her resignation or back off. EJ sighs, then asks if he may use the office for his meeting. Kayla walks out, and he looks unsettled after she's gone. Sarah calls Xander and starts yelling at him about keeping Victoria from her. Then it devolves into her telling him to screw himself and hanging up. Kayla wanders over and asks what's wrong. Everything! Kayla hugs her, assuring her her feelings are valid. This is her daughter, and Xander is forcefully keeping her from seeing Victoria. Kayla half-jokingly offers to have her brother send ISA agents over to scare Xander. She's almost sorry she voted for him over EJ, but he's still probably the lesser of two evils. EJ's being infuriating and refusing to back down. Sarah's not sure Xander, with his temper, would be much better. I'm scared that his rage is blinding him so much that anyone can get caught in the crossfire. She feels stupid for having a baby with a ticking time bomb. Kayla knows Sarah would never take back having Victoria, though. Stephanie shows up shortly after her mom leaves, surprised to see EJ instead of Kayla. Still, they were supposed to meet, and she makes it clear she's ready to work for the hospital, under certain non-negotiable conditions. First, she won't undermine her mother. Second, nothing unethical for him or the hospital. Fantastic, EJ responds. Her terms are more than acceptable. They shake on it, and then Kayla walks in, shocked. She's ticked at Stephanie for ignoring her advice, and EJ for not telling her the meeting was with Stephanie. Kayla asks for time with EJ, and once her daughter is gone, gives him an order. I will not let you corrupt your daughter. He's not looking to. He just wants her expertise as a publicist. Good day. Up in Chicago, Sophia's pacing, worrying about lying about something this big, but Melinda assures her she'll be by her side through it all. Sophia can do anything. The phone rings, and it's Tate again. But Sophia won't answer. He's going to be heartbroken, and what if he someday realizes Tesoro is theirs? Melinda assures her no one will figure it out. She'll take care of the paperwork, and Sophia just has to remember what they rehearsed. Just go out into the world and live your life to the fullest. Now, time to head home. Tate rushes home and breathlessly tells Brady they have to go. The baby's coming! Then he breaks the kidnapping to a surprised Brady and moves on to worrying about Sophia and the baby. They have to get to Chicago right now. Brady stops his son before he runs out, though, saying he's too wound up to drive. Brady will, but Tate doesn't know where she is or what hospital. Still, he has to try to find her. Before they can leave, Sophia calls, assures Tate she's fine, and she's on her way home. He's stunned, but she says she already had the baby. It's a girl! Tate hangs up, and Brady marvels that he has a granddaughter. Not for long, Tate says, but I can't wait to meet her. Tate laments how unready he is to be a parent. He tried going off on a trip with Sophia so close to her due date, but why didn't she wait for him? Brady tells his son she was probably anxious to get this all over with and move on. Tate worries that he won't ever move on. He'll always wonder how his daughter is doing. Tate doesn't know how he's supposed to feel. Brady can't imagine how he's feeling, but he can promise he'll be with Tate no matter what. I love you, Dad. They hug, both crying. Leo's looking after the baby while he talks to Chad about trial coverage while he's stuck in jury duty. Once he gets off the phone, Leo worries about the possibility of Johnny actually doing it, and EJ being ticked if Leo has to go against him. Javi gets home and updates Leo on Ari. She's doing well, and Gabby hasn't left her side. He then asks if Leo had any idea Doug would go after Ari and Holly. No! He didn't even know Doug knew Ari. Javi believes him, but doesn't get why Leo helped Doug in the first place. Leo saw himself in Doug, and hoped that helping him could get him off the path he was heading down. You have changed me, Javi, for the better. He's happier, more honest, and is an open book with Javi, just like Javi is with him. The man in question just takes a swig of beer. Leo then gets ready to head out for diapers, worrying over the baby as Javi looks after him. Leo runs into EJ in the square, almost literally. EJ says they need to have a chat. Everyone in Salem knows your penchant for craven, greedy self-preservation. Leo, though, says he's not for sale anymore and runs off, leaving an annoyed EJ behind. Leo gets home without the diapers, looks out the door worriedly, and tells Javi about his run-in with EJ. Javi's proud of him for standing up, though Leo's terrified of the consequences. Stephanie gets home and tells Alex she's working for EJ. She then spots the mysterious package. Kayla's rushing through the hospital when she runs into Sarah again and gripes about EJ hiring Stephanie. She just worries about all her kids. Sarah knows. And for the record, she doesn't regret Victoria. She just wishes Xander could see how much he's hurting their daughter. Kayla suggests Xander seeing a psychiatrist, which Sarah finds laughable. But Marlena offers intense anger management counseling. Maybe she could help. Sophia knocks on Tate's door, much to his surprise. How is she back already? And where's the baby? She's gone, Tate. Doug Williams III. We hardly knew ya. And yet after only 7 months on Days of Our Lives, Peyton Meyer will last air as the OG Doug's grandson in the Friday, July 25th episode of the Peacock drama Soap Opera Digest reports. Heaven knows that it's been a rocky road from the start for the legacy character. No sooner had he been introduced in the wake of his grandfather's passing than he stole Alice Horton's necklace. Talk about having the deck stacked against you. It wasn't exactly the best way to make a good first impression. Against all odds, Doug did manage to win over some fans, in particular as an option for Holly that wasn't Tate. Ironically, it will be Doug's promise to his romantic rival to leave Salem if Tate helped him pay off the loan sharks who have kidnapped Holly and Ari that will lead him to exit stage left. At least, Digest says, he'll get to have one last heart-to-heart with Julie before he goes. As for portrayer Meyer, no doubt he will pick up right where he left off pursuing a career in primetime. Before being cast by Days of Our Lives, he'd already starred on Disney Channel's Girl Meets World and cracked us up literally every time he appeared in his recurring role of dim-witted but sweet-hearted Trip on the ABC sitcom American Housewife. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Susan Banks could hold the key to Johnny DiMera's freedom. Will Susan and her somewhat wacky visions lead to clearing Johnny's name by pointing out who the real killer is? Will Susan clear Johnny's name before E.J. DiMera remembers the truth? It has already been revealed to fans that Johnny didn't shoot his father. Evidence, although fake, has also been found that points the finger at Chanel DiMera. Fans know that Chanel would never let Johnny take the fall for something she did. Unfortunately, Belle Black refuses to drop the charges against Johnny. Chanel knows that she didn't say half of what is on that memory card that was turned over for evidence. Unfortunately, no one seems to be looking to see if that card is fake. EJ had that evidence fabricated to try to get Chanel arrested. Since this didn't work, perhaps Susan will pick up on her visions and figure this out. Susan picked up on something with Johnny that last time she visited Salem. Of course, at the time, Johnny wanted his father dead because of what he has learned. Now that fans know that Johnny is innocent, perhaps Susan will pick up on that connection that led to someone else using Roman Brady's gun to shoot EJ. Susan could certainly touch someone and get a vision of what they have done. What if Susan happens to touch Rachel Black and get a vision of her pulling the trigger? It was leaked weeks ago that Rachel was the guilty party. Will Susan be the person to reveal this as the truth? Is Rachel really the person who shot EJ? Susan has been determined to help EJ from the time she found out he was shot. However, Susan returned home to her husband weeks ago. Now that the trial has begun and her grandson Johnny is the one accused, Susan will certainly return to Salem to help save him. Can Susan find the evidence she needs to prove Johnny's innocence? Susan won't know what to think about a young child being the would-be killer. However, as long as Susan tells what she sees, maybe she can at least point the police in the right direction. Will Susan be the one who provides enough reasonable doubt to free Johnny? Will Rachel have to answer for her part in the crime? Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Tuesday, July 22nd reveal some bombshells on the horizon in Salem. Someone helps another with a scheme, while a mom worries about a custody battle, and a gal pal freaks out over her boyfriend. What's set to go down on Tuesday? Time to find out. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, July 22nd. Indicate this isn't Melinda Trask's first time at a scheme rodeo, so she'll help Sophia Choi follow through with the baby-adoption story for Tate Black. Fans know that Sophia had her baby days ago and left it at the fire station. At the moment, Leo Stark and Javi Hernandez are watching the infant as baby Tesoro awaits adoption. With that said, Sophia will tell Tate that she had their baby girl in Chicago and that she's been given up for adoption already. While Sophia drops that truth bomb, Brady Black will stand by his son's side in the aftermath of the shocker. Across town, Sarah Horton Kyriakis will be a bundle of nerves as she thinks about the custody battle for her daughter. Xander Kyriakis wants shared custody, but Sarah wants to be Victoria Kyriakis' sole guardian, so how will things play out? She has a major fight up ahead, but can she withstand the storm? Lastly, Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Tuesday suggest that Stephanie Johnson will have a complete meltdown as a result of something Alex Kyriakis does, so this must be about her manuscript. What is Alex up to now, and could this freak out be a good one or a bad one? Speaking of Stephanie, her mom, Kayla Johnson, will be over hospital head. EJ DiMera's antics. What kind of move will EJ pull now? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, July 22nd reveal that Sophia Choi's story will shock Tate Black and Brady Black, while EJ DiMera strikes a risky deal. Although Kayla understands that budget cuts are necessary, she may feel that EJ is undermining their ability to give the proper care to their patients. As for Stephanie Johnson, she'll fly into a panic and perhaps have second thoughts about One Stormy Night's publication. Days spoilers say Stephanie will flip out and leave Alex Kyriakis scrambling to calm her down. Later, Stephanie will move forward with the meeting she has scheduled with EJ, who wants her to do PR for the hospital. Since Stephanie will shake hands with EJ by the time their conversation wraps up, it looks like they'll strike a deal. Days spoilers say that deal may be a risky one, considering what EJ is capable of. Stephanie could find herself spinning some serious stories and get tangled up in more trouble than she bargained for sooner or later. While Sarah Horton Kyriakis frets over her custody feud with Xander Kyriakis, Tate will worry about Sophia now that he's listened to her voicemail about being in labor. Days spoilers say Tate will seek comfort in Brady's embrace as they wait for updates. Over the phone, Sophia will ultimately shock Brady and Tate with the news that she already had the baby in Chicago. Of course, that'll be a lie, since Sophia actually had a baby boy right there in Salem before dropping him off at the fire station. Nevertheless, Sophia will keep piling on the deception after she arrives at the townhouse. That's where Sophia will try to sell the story of giving a baby girl up to new adoptive parents while she was on her trip. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Tate and Brady will have a lot to wrap their heads around, so stay tuned. CDL will have other sizzling Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, July 23rd. Dump even more in Tate and Brady's lap when Sophia has news for father and son. Sophia gave birth to her and Tate's son days ago, but she kept it a secret and came up with a plan with Melinda to claim that she gave birth out of town and immediately handed their daughter over to her adoptive parents. So, yeah, they're never going to get to see her. Sorry. Will Tate, or his savvier father, Brady, make a fuss? Maybe Tate should have thought about that before he planned a getaway with his girlfriend while his baby mama was about to give birth. Another baby at the center of her parents' drama is little Victoria. Xander took her from Sarah, how we're not sure their custody hasn't been settled yet, and won't let Sarah see the tot, even when she got fussy and demonstrated that fatherhood isn't all bedtime stories and daddy-daughter tea parties. Since Xander doesn't have the legal right to keep Victoria from Sarah for an extended period of time, he magnanimously allows his estranged wife to visit. But it doesn't sound like this situation is anywhere close to resolution. Holly and Ari were kidnapped because Doug owes money to some bad guys, and he decided he doesn't have to pay them back because, well, he doesn't have the money, so the bad guys should understand, right? They have some thoughts and feelings on the topic. They decided to share it with Doug. Now that Ari is safe, Gabby has time to focus on other issues, like business, which is why Tony has an intriguing offer for his one-time sister-in-law. Sophia and Melinda's plan fully entered the execution phase in the Tuesday, July 22nd episode of Days of Our Lives. The lies started unloading once Sophia returned Tate's call. Meanwhile, EJ let Kayla know who had the power at the hospital, but she stood up to him anyway. EJ wasn't just an irritant to the chief of staff at Salem University Hospital. He ran into Leo in the middle of Horton Town Square and showed how he wasn't beyond bribery to free his son. Tate had just dealt with the Holly Ari kidnapping disaster, and now he had to deal with the baby drama. He didn't know where in Chicago Sophia was and had no idea how she was doing. Thankfully, Brady was there for his boy. Meanwhile, Sophia knew she could no longer avoid Tate. He needed to be told something. On the phone with the baby daddy, her lies included that she already had the baby, that baby was a girl, and that Sophia was on her way home. That way, if Tate did go looking for their kid, he would be looking for a girl and not the boy she actually had. Later, she arrived at Tate's looking like she hadn't just had a baby, but we'll see how that plays out on Wednesday. At the end of the episode, she told Tate that their baby was gone. Poor Kayla had to deal with EJ throwing around his weight. He basically wanted to throw her out of her office, and he wanted her to make more budget cuts. Cuts that Kayla felt would tank morale at the hospital. EJ wouldn't let up. Taunting Kayla has turned into one of his favorite pastimes. Ultimately, the chief of staff threatened early retirement if he didn't let her run things her way. EJ didn't give in to her threats, but there was no way he was going to back off on the budget cuts and ensuring Kayla executed his orders. Things between the two will probably remain icy, because he doesn't care whose toes he steps on as long as he gets what he wants. And how can there be no other office that's befitting of the hospital owner? EJ's smart. He didn't come out and say the actual words, but he has paid Leo off before. Who's to say he couldn't do it again? And for a good cause like helping Johnny walk away scot-free from attempting to murder his father? But we all know what he was trying to do. Having the conversation in the middle of Horton Town Square wasn't good, and neither was talking to one of the jurors who could change his son's life forever. Thankfully, Leo says he's a changed man, and he wanted no part of EJ's quid pro quo. Anyway, Leo has plans that post-trial, he'll write a book about the entire thing, so he can get his money that way. What did you think of the episode? What did you think of Kayla suggesting to Sarah that Xander see a psychiatrist, namely Marina, to get a handle on his anger? He probably wouldn't, but would love to see this happen. In a short amount of time, Sheree Jimenez took over the role of Days of Our Lives Gabi and made the part her own. She recently celebrated her first year in the part, and she's moving forward full steam ahead. While playing Gabi is a full-time gig, Jimenez has contributed to other projects as well. She recently had the good fortune to participate in the premiere of one of her films and had a grand time doing it. Jimenez wrote on Instagram, "Yesterday I went to go see Guns N' Moses on the big screen, and it was truly one of the most special experiences I've ever had. I am feeling so eternally grateful to have this milestone in my career. And to make it even more magical, I unexpectedly ran into both at Accidental Talmudist and at Nineveh 13, who wrote and directed the film. They were there for a surprise Q&A, after which I got the chance to join in on. Along with that wonderful news, she shared several pics and a video. It began with her standing outside the cinema, next to the poster for Guns N' Moses, and was followed by a brief video as she entered the theater and showed her tickets. She even got a fun screenshot of her name in the film's opening credits, as well as a picture of her with director Salvador Litvak and co-writer Nina Litvak. According to the film's IMDb page, a beloved small-town rabbi in the high desert becomes an unlikely gunslinger after his community is violently attacked. Al Calderon, who plays Gabi's cousin Javi, excitedly responded, "My movie star." Other castmates who commented included Tina Huang, who wrote, "Congratulations, superstar," and Ashley Puzemis, who commented, "Yeah, so happy for you, Sheree. Can't wait to see it." Jimenez had previously posted about the film on Instagram, stating, "Proud and honored to be part of telling this incredibly important story with a dream cast and crew portraying the beautiful Paulina Rosny." The fans were incredibly happy for Jimenez's major career milestone and couldn't wait to see it. Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. The chickens come home to roost for Doug III, or at least the strong young women he nearly got killed do. Ari and Holly are safe and recovered from their ordeal locked in a warehouse, so now they are ready to have some words with Doug III. Ari and Holly pay the young man a visit at the Brady pub, where they give him pieces of their minds. Ari even appears to give him a piece of her hand when she slaps him clear across the face with Holly watching. Ari and Holly can't believe that Doug couldn't just be honest with them. Yes, he tried to avoid them to keep them safe, but he could have just told each one the truth. While Holly was never romantically involved with Doug, he lived in her bedroom for weeks, and this was how he repaid her. Doug did promise Tate he would leave town once the girls were safe. But will he keep his word? It's not like Julie wants him around, and now the two girls he liked also want nothing to do with him. Tate was all excited for Sophia to arrive, so he could meet his brand new daughter. But when he opened the door, there was no baby. Tate can barely believe it when Sophia tells him that she gave the baby to her adoptive parents immediately, so that Tate will never get to meet his child. Brady had already warned Tate not to get too attached. What Tate doesn't know is that he already met his baby, but Sophia gave birth to a baby boy. Weeks ago, the infant Leo and Javi are taking care of is really Tate's son, and he is none the wiser. Sophia knows where her baby boy is, so is it only a matter of time before Tate and Amy figure out the truth? Sophia does her best to stick to Melinda's plan, but that's much easier said than done. Here's your Days of Our Lives recap for what happened on Tuesday, July 20, 2025. When Sophia told Tate they had a daughter, Stephanie accepted EJ's job offer. EJ attempted to bribe Leo, and Kayla suggested to Sarah that Xander take anger management classes with Marina. In Stephanie's apartment, Alex talked to her about the book launch. Stephanie was leery of doing interviews and podcasts, but Alex assured her that they would take precautions to protect her identity. Alex asked Stephanie to approve the use of a passage from the book for the promotion. Stephanie refused. Alex asked what was wrong. Stephanie explained that the situation was overwhelming. Kayla was talking to Bo on the phone in her office when EJ walked in. EJ chided Kayla for taking a personal call at work, and Kayla argued that she had been talking to Bo about his recovery thanks to Versavix. I mean, after all, it's the only reason you got your greedy little hands on this hospital, right? Kayla said. Is that any way to talk to your superior? EJ asked. EJ told Kayla that he wanted to take over her office. We are running short of office space for the moment, EJ. But I suppose it would not be any trouble to spruce up a little utility closet, Kayla said. Kayla argued that although EJ owned the hospital, she ran it. Correction. You used to run it, into the ground by all accounts, EJ said. Kayla reminded EJ that Seth Burns had handled the budget. Kayla argued that EJ's changes had only lowered morale. Trim the fat and figure out how to do more with less, EJ ordered. Kayla told EJ that if he did not give her the autonomy to run the hospital, she would quit. I don't take too kindly to threats, EJ said. Kayla noted that she only stayed because she still cared about her patients and the staff of the hospital. EJ scoffed. I have never done this job for the prestige or the money, and I will not continue to do it if I have to defer to somebody that I not only disrespect, but despise. So it's your choice, actually, EJ. You either accept my resignation, or you back the hell off, Kayla growled. EJ reiterated that he needed Kayla's office for his meeting. With a scowl, Kayla walked out. At the nurse's station, Javi talked to Sarah about Ari and Holly's rescue. Sarah asked about Tesoro. I'm dreading having to give him up to a new family. Leo and I have grown really attached to him, Javi said. Sarah told Javi that she had once given up a child. Javi apologized for upsetting Sarah. With a shake of her head, Sarah said her emotion was about the fact that Victoria was with Xander. I miss her so much, Sarah said. At the Hernandez house, Leo fed Tesoro and talked to him about Johnny's case. Leo worried aloud that if he convicted Johnny, EJ would have him killed. When Javi returned home, Leo asked about Ari. Javi noted that Ari was okay. And Doug? Leo asked. Rafe said that he left after questioning, Javi said. Javi asked Leo if he had known that Doug's loan shark had targeted Ari and Holly. Leo swore that he had not known that Doug had been involved with Ari. Javi told Leo that he believed him, but he did not know why Leo had helped Doug. Because maybe if somebody had helped me when I was his age, I would have turned my life around a whole lot sooner, I don't know, Leo said. Leo told Javi that Doug had needed someone to believe in him the way John and Marlena had believed that Leo could change. "I believe in you too," Javi said. Leo promised that he was not the dirtbag he had once been. "You have changed me, Javi, for the better," Leo said. Leo told Javi that, unlike before, he was fully open and honest with Javi. "The same way that I know you are with me," Leo added. At the hospital, Sarah called Xander to demand to see Victoria. "It is not the same thing as when I did it to you. I was justified," Sarah yelled. Kayla walked over. Sarah apologized to Kayla for having been unprofessional. "This is your daughter we're talking about, and you have every right to be furious at Xander," Kayla said. Sarah noted that the separation was not as serious as a kidnapping. "Even if you know exactly where Victoria is, and she is not in any kind of danger, the father of your child is still forcefully keeping you from seeing her. And that is so, so painful. And no mother, no parent should ever have to go through that," Kayla said. Sarah thanked Kayla for the support. Kayla confessed that EJ's budget cuts were so severe that she believed that Xander might have been the lesser of two evils. "I'm sorry, I never should have said that," Kayla said. Sarah said she understood. "I don't know that Xander would be a much better boss. His temper has been out of control lately," Sarah said. "Are you worried for Victoria's safety?" Kayla asked. Sarah hesitated, but she said no. "But I am scared that his rage is blinding him so much that anyone can get caught in the crossfire," Sarah said. Sarah admitted that she felt like an idiot for having had a child with someone so volatile. When Stephanie arrived at the hospital for her meeting with EJ, she was surprised to see EJ at Kayla's desk. "Kayla lent it out to me for our meeting," EJ said. "Somehow I doubt that," Stephanie muttered. With a shrug, EJ asked Stephanie if she had decided to accept the hospital as a PR client. "Under certain conditions," Stephanie said. Stephanie refused to undermine Kayla or act unethically. EJ agreed to Stephanie's terms. As Stephanie and EJ shook hands, Kayla returned to the room. "You didn't take any of my advice, and you accepted this job with EJ," Kayla said. Stephanie said yes. Kayla warned EJ not to attempt to corrupt her daughter. EJ stressed that he had hired Stephanie for her PR talent. Kayla went to the nurses' station and told Sarah about EJ's meeting with Stephanie, and she noted that she was worried about her daughter. Sarah said she understood. When Sarah mentioned again how painful it was to be separated from Victoria by Xander, Kayla asked Sarah if Xander had ever spoken to a psychiatrist. "Xander's not the type to open up about his feelings, let alone to a stranger," Sarah said. "If you two want to successfully co-parent, I think that Xander needs to get his rage in check, and I do know that Marlena offers intense anger management counseling," Kayla said. As Leo walked through the square, he ran into EJ. "You and I need to have a little chat," EJ said. Leo reminded EJ that they should not be talking. EJ hinted at a bribe. "Leo Stark is not for sale, not anymore," Leo said. Leo rushed home and he told Javi about EJ's bribe. "I'm proud of you for standing up to that jerk," Javi said. When Stephanie returned home, she informed Alex that she was officially handling the PR for the hospital. Stephanie noted that Kayla had appeared unhappy with Stephanie's decision. "What's this?" Stephanie said as she pointed to a package. "No card, no note. You got a secret admirer you're not telling me about?" Alex asked. Stephanie laughed. Tate rushed into the penthouse, and he told Brady that Sophia had gone into labor. When Tate noted that he had not heard the voicemail earlier because he had been worried about Holly and Ari's kidnapping, Brady went wide-eyed. "What are you talking about?" Brady said. Tate assured his father that Holly and Ari were safe. In Chicago, Sophia told Melinda that she was struggling with the guilt over lying about her baby. "I will be with you every step of the way," Melinda said. "Tate is going to be so heartbroken and suspicious," Sophia said. Melinda argued that Tate would never know about his baby's fate. "Are you sure? Because when I was in the square and I saw the baby, I knew right away it was him," Sophia said. "We're going to make sure that people don't make that connection," Melinda said. Melinda urged Sophia to live her life, knowing that the baby would be placed in a loving home. Brady and Tate were about to leave for Chicago when Sophia called. Tate asked Sophia if she was okay, and she said she was fine. Sophia explained that she had given birth to a baby girl, and that she would be home soon. Brady asked Tate how he felt. "I don't know. All I know is I can't wait to meet her," Tate said. Tate argued that his decision to go to the lake was proof that he had not been ready to be a parent. Brady countered that if Tate had not been at the lake, he would not have been able to save Holly and Ari. "I guess that's right. It's just, why didn't Sophia wait for me to meet with this couple?" Tate said. Brady suggested that Sophia had been anxious to move on. Brady noted that the quicker the baby was placed with adoptive parents, the sooner Sophia and Tate could move on with their lives. Tate confessed he did not believe he would ever stop thinking about his daughter. Tate wondered aloud if the adoptive parents had been there for the birth. "It's kind of great if that's the case, right? Once they adopt this baby, they are her parents. You understand?" Brady said. Tate groaned. Brady told Tate that it was okay to feel all the emotions and that he would be there by Tate's side. When Sophia arrived at the penthouse, Tate asked about the baby. "She's gone, Tate," Sophia said. "Welcome to the Days of Our Lives Daily YAPP. For a quick, and by that I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it." It's been nearly 60 years, and Salem has still not found a home within the United States. We learned that when Alex received a package with the address of Salem, USA. At one time, many daytime soaps were just somewhere in the heartland of America. But eventually, we learned where they actually were, like Another World's Bay City was in Illinois. In recent years, we assumed Salem was also in Illinois, as characters go back and forth between Salem and Chicago so easily. But it could also be located in Indiana or Wisconsin. We know where the other 4 soaps take place. The Young and the Restless, which actually does take place in Wisconsin. General Hospital's Port Charles is in New York. The Bold and the Beautiful is set in Los Angeles. And Beyond the Gates action happens in Maryland and D.C. But Days Salem? Sadly, we don't really know where it is. But we do know it's somewhere near Chicago in the continental U.S., and where Alex receives packages addressed to Stephanie Johnson in Salem, USA. So, maybe our favorite characters live in an alternate version of the United States, where people are kind and tolerant to one another and women run the whole show. At least Salem has a female mayor and police chief, right? Paulina and Jada, we're looking at you. So, yes, Salem is in the USA, and one we actually like. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full, dual recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not. Seriously, do not. Forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is, if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Deidre Hall joined Days of Our Lives in 1976. She's seen Dr. Marlena Evans through several husbands and some of the show's most memorable storylines, including 2 demonic possessions. But fans are worried that the actress is leaving after nearly 50 years. A new preview for the week of July 21st shows Marlena collapsing in Abe's arms. Is the show killing Marlena off 2 months after John Black's heart-wrenching death? Days of Our Lives fans were shocked and heartbroken when Drake Hogestyn passed away in September 2024 after a private battle with cancer. His co-stars knew he was sick, but fans didn't. The beloved actor joined the show in 1986 in a mysterious role of the pawn who thought he was Roman Brady and later became John Black. The actor was diagnosed with cancer in late 2023. He knew it was unlikely he would return to the soap. With his and his family's permission, the show scripted an exit storyline that would kill John Black once and for all. The storyline played out over 3 months, ending in a heartbreaking funeral attended by John Black's closest family and friends. Drake Hogestyn passed away around the time the scenes were filmed, making the scenes all too real for the actors. And it isn't over just yet. Allison Sweeney, who played John's stepdaughter, Sammy Brady, makes her return this summer to mourn him. Will she also be mourning her mother, Marlena? Marlena's grandson, Johnny DiMera, is on trial in Salem for allegedly shooting his father, EJ. Johnny had just learned that he was the product of rape before EJ was shot by a mysterious assailant. EJ doesn't believe his son shot him, but who did? He sought Dr. Marlena Evans's help using hypnosis to try to remember who really shot him. After an intense session with EJ, Marlena collapses in Abe's arms this week. Marlena has been through a lot this year with the loss of the love of her life. She hasn't been acting like herself, lashing out at others in her grief. The stress finally takes a toll on her, and she collapses. Is the show planning to kill her off? A summer preview released earlier this month revealed Marlena's fate, at least for the rest of the summer. The preview clip shows her in a hospital bed. She appears to be dreaming about her arch-nemesis, Stefano DiMera, who tormented her for years because of his obsession with her. Images from the Queen of the Night storyline flash on the screen. The storyline aired in the early 1980s when Stefano tried to hypnotize Marlena into falling in love with him. Instead, it left her open to the devil to possess her, kicking off one of the show's most famous storylines. Many fans suspect that the memories of Stefano haunt Marlena this summer. However, the new storyline is unlikely to result in Marlena's death. She is one of the most popular characters on the show, and Deidre Hall has given no indication that she's planning to leave. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Susan Banks could hold the key to Johnny DiMera's freedom. Will Susan and her somewhat wacky visions lead to clearing Johnny's name by pointing out who the real killer is? Will Susan clear Johnny's name before EJ DiMera remembers the truth? It has already been revealed to fans that Johnny didn't shoot his father. Evidence, although fake, has also been found that points the finger at Chanel DiMera. Fans know that Chanel would never let Johnny take the fall for something she did. Unfortunately, Belle Black refuses to drop the charges against Johnny. Days of Our Lives sees juicy stuff from our favorite leaker about Gabby Hernandez seducing Xander Cook, but then falling head over heels for his brother, Philip Kyriakis. So, while Ari Hernandez was missing and Xander had a baby crisis at the office, he and Gabby had a couple of tender moments. That was in recent episodes, and our leaker spills that more of this may be on the way. But later this week, Tony DiMera hatches an insidious new plan with Gabby, and she may turn those good vibes with Xander into something sexier. Plus, Gabby is also going to make moves on Philip, all as part of her plot with Tony. However, our leaker says Gabby winds up falling head over heels with one of the brothers. Looks like it's Philip, even though love was definitely not part of the plan. Like a Tina Turner song, What's Love Got to Do with It? It was supposed to be about business.